Good time. I had a little scare earlier. Figure I'll explain. Well, I guess I'll probably wait till we get some people on here. Because I gotta explain what I kind of got need to do with this guy. I was hoping not to do as much work as I did. Made myself a little bit more work today. But anyways, listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. If you guys are watching this after the live stream, get your opening. Anyways, probably should figure out where I set Tatsu. The other Tatsu. Hey. One thing I'm super glad about is my little hiccup I had earlier. It's not such a big deal anymore. As big of a deal anymore. Ugh. Although I do gotta get the shirt off this guy. Somehow it's been sitting in a box, still ends up being cat hair on it. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Mr. Metal. Hey, Heine. Heine? He goes, well, go to bed. I definitely, it's like 7:30 here. About an hour, I'm going to go to bed. I don't like 1 o'clock. I'm too old for that. But what I gotta do with Tatsu is we're taking some of the old shredder cloak and then just kind of making a little liner for this. Problem is I don't mess with fabric stuff too often. Hey, Art. I'm just trying to figure out the best way because I actually have fabric glue in order to do this. Oh, gotcha. Casual good at best. At least hopefully. Okay, yeah, we're still good. Also, I had a little, since we got some people in the stream, I had a little hiccup earlier because I was doing some primering. Yeah. See some stuff hanging there. My basement is a hot mess. But I was primering the one dragon, and I need filler primer for the wings because they're PLA. So you want to use a filler primer, preferably a sandable filler primer, so you can hopefully try to hide the print lines as much as possible. Problem is, the one I had was a little clogged. So, big brain idea was like, well, I have this tiny little drill bit. I'll just use the drill bit to get the stuff out of there. We'll be good to go. Problem is, I applied too much pressure, broke the cap, busted the thing open, and it sprayed everywhere. So it got a little bit on the Godzilla. I just got done primering. Thankfully, I got to go over the figure dry brushing anyway, so that's not a big deal. Although I did blast the bottom foot of one of my commissions, so I got to go back and touch that thing up. So that'll be sweet. It got a little bit on the foot. Like I said, I was planning on dry brushing anyways because I got to kind of blend a bit when I'm doing to try to hide a lot of the black primer and everything. So I was just going to do the entire figure anyways. Yeah, hopefully it's not frozen. It's the only reason I've been using the phone lately is just because like the laptop's been having issues. The ones I've had the best luck with is Elegoo resin printers. I don't think you can really go wrong with those. The Crealities I think are a little bit cheaper, but I've had way more problems with those. I've had more errors with prints than I have with my Elegoo. I don't have any much experience with any of the other ones, but the Elegoo the positive for it is I think the prints look better. It has less fails than any of the other resin printers I've messed with. But if it does fail, they're more of a pain in the butt to do the fix than like the Reality. If the little resin vat, if the whatever you call it, the plastic part of the bottom of the vat will sometimes rip. It rips on any of them. But if that rips, it's only like a few screws to pop off to swap. While the Elegoo's like 30, so it's way more time consuming to deal with. Yes, plan on getting the movie Monster Series Zilla. Cross like, no, it's just my laptop's getting a bit older, so it's having a hard time. Oh, but gonna be I have the new Tatsu here just kind of as a reference. I was just trying to figure out the way I wanted to set up the jacket. Hopefully we'll get around to doing that. I'm not gonna worry about it quite at the moment because I got some other stuff that I do want to try to set up real quick because I've been meaning to work on this a little bit more, which I just popped off the random antenna, which I'm gonna have to fix now. Hooray. Well, thankfully I got epoxy anyway, so we'll just fix this right now. Yeah, I personally haven't messed too much with an Anycubic. But if you want my honest opinion, like I really like the Elegoo's. Like I said, they'd be a little more frustrating when they fall apart. When you tend to have to fix something on them. Why is my table wet? Oh, I see why my table's wet. Nah, I think the neutral head for the con looks way better than the Monster Arts one. It looks more like the I got like some custom ones in not too long ago. It reminds me a lot of that one, more so than the original. It looks pretty spot on for the movie, if I do say so. It's one thing I hate about doing resin prints with these kind of things where they're like so intricate that it just makes probably like they're too thin for the material used, so they tend to be really fragile. Kind of like this guy here. Got to hold it long enough just for the glue to stick in. Yeah, actually, if you give me a second, like I said, I gotta hold this till it goes. It pops on really. It doesn't really stay on very well, if I'm gonna be honest. But I did put it on there. Hey, Donazilla, doing good, doing good. It's been a pretty solid day overall. All right, cool. Where's my spritzies? It seems it's around here. Okay, well, we're not gonna touch this anytime soon, so that's fine. It can sit there for a minute. But I just want to mess with this just a little bit, just to expand out the skirt just a little bit more and make it look more like a skirt. Yeah, plus like looking around helps a lot. That's kind of one of the reasons why I fell on the Alligator to begin with, is because the reviews are really solid for it. And I hadn't heard too many bad things, but nobody mentioned anything about like the VATs taking like an hour to try to swap out. Weirdest GXK monster? Oddly enough, it's one from the previous movie, but it's those like little pigeon-looking monsters that Godzilla vs. Kong were in the cave. You do see them in GXK. I still think they are really odd-looking for me. Next would be the dog monsters that were chasing Kong. I think could have maybe been a little bit more monstrous looking. I don't think they're weird, though, per se. Hellhawks, is that what they're called? somebody's trying to make little custom figures of that thing, like just like little tiny ones you can have displayed with the Godzilla. Yeah, the Elegoo does. Like I said, the Elegoo, the prints come out really nice. You definitely like if you want more detail, you want to go with the higher resolution printer. But I think mine's my Elegoo, I want to say because it's older, I think it's a 2K and it still does better than my 4K Creality. Ooh, favorite snacks? Trying to think. I don't really snack too often. Like if I generally snack, it's usually on some kind of kettle potato chips. Oh, what? I like the '84 film. That was like one of my favorite ones growing up. You take that back. No, seriously, no. It's one of my favorite suits. So like suit wise, I would give it like an 8. I think a pretty solid 8. Film wise, I'll be honest, I don't really come back to that one as much anymore. Like I like the suit, but just like in hindsight, I just don't really watch it that often. So maybe like a 7. Yeah, probably like a 7 out of 10 for the movie. Do I have water around here? Oh, I do. Good, 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 good. Hey, Kingzilla. Oh, do I got any little cups hanging around here? It's like I actually have a water bottle here just for use for when I'm doing this stuff. I had a bunch of little cups. I might have ran out though. I know I was running pretty low the other day. I'm currently not seeing one. Well, that's why we got my little paint reservoir. We'll just use that. Yeah, whenever it gets in. We ordered it through the Godzilla store. That's like plot wise, I think it's fine. Honestly, like I said, I'm kind of weird with my Godzilla stuff. Like I still watch, if I watch it, I still watch the English version with Raymond Burr. Like I don't know why. It just feels like to me, it just feels like a little unnatural to watch it in the Japanese. As weird as that sounds. Oh yeah, the Xbox Bug-On, that thing looks dope. For sure. Godzilla 98 VHS. I don't have an extra one though. I have like one Godzilla 98 VHS. And then like I like 98. It's still one of my more favorite Godzilla movies. It's one of those weird like it's almost blasphemy, but I really enjoy that movie. I notice I'm using this little silicone brush. It works pretty good for some of these sections to try to clean up. Hey, Acid. Let's work on our random Star Wars Jedi person dude. Next is the agenda. Paint over there. I keep forgetting I gotta take this thing upstairs. I haven't really done much sculpting down here. It's mainly been all upstairs. But I know I had one tool hanging out here because it's the one I use for pretty much everything. God forbid it's right next to me, though. Say, heck, I'll take an connector blade. Connector blade will get the job done, too. The show at Jet Jaguar? Yeah, definitely be getting it. Ooh, sweet on the alien figures. I'm pretty excited for those things. They look real good. I'm just using the back of the blade here just to add some texturing. Yes, no spamming in chat, please. Try to keep it civil. Greatly would appreciate it. Oh, sweet on the tail. Kind of like there's one of the AVP Predators came with one of those. Hey, Lady Drago. I know there is an option for timing out people. I know if I gotta go out of my way to shut somebody off, I tend to just hard silence you in the chat forever. If I have to go out of my way to silence somebody, yeah, I'm not about that life. I have a couple of people that help moderate the chat. But they could definitely like time you out for like so many minutes, up to like a week, I think. Oh, thanks, Apex. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of in the same vein like you, where I just watched like other people kind of doing stuff like this. But at the time when I started, there wasn't really like a lot of Godzilla content. So it was one of those like kind of saw like a little niche market I could kind of get into. And then just decided just to kind of go from there and have fun with it. Oh, like a Xenomorph Velociraptor? That'd be cool. No, like that. Nah, you still definitely the problem. It's kind of vice versa because actually primary, depending on the primer, could actually hurt the detailing from your prints. So like I said, it's almost kind of like the opposite in that regard. Hey, Oma. Yeah, I got it. I gotta still look and see if I got it. I didn't hear anybody drop anything off. Which probably means in my probably in the post box. If I had to venture a guess. Yeah, so that as I say, I actually think I have the dies, so we might be actually good on that one. At least I think. I know I got. I see a blue die right here. I'd have to look. Okay, I think. Almost looks more like an outfit now. Let's go to... Fix a couple of the curves. Kind of bends with it now. Got the little dip there in the front to match it. Same one on the back. Oh, I might try to smooth this under section real quick. Just to make it look a little prettier down here. A little bit of what? And just smooth it out. Yeah, as I say, either way, it don't really matter because I can't get my fingers in here if I wanted to. Plus, this will help the epoxy from popping off the bottom here from me handling. Since it's kind of adhered all the way around. So that'll work. Ugh. So then I can primer you tomorrow. You, on the other hand, actually look pretty good. Alright, I don't think I gotta worry about that. Made too much epoxy putty, tends to happen. I don't have a garbage can at the moment because that's where when the primer can exploded, it went over there. So, crud. I guess you'll go in the dust container for now. Okay, I'll have to check the box. All right, have it going, Ryan. Yeah, the candy, like, literally, because what had happened, like I said, what had happened, you'll see my little Dremel bit is covered in primer. Because the nozzle dried up. So I was like, well, we'll speed up the process. I'll just do this on low and clean it out. Well, while I was cleaning it out, I accidentally flicked into 2, so I went faster speed and then went right to the top of the can, and then it sprayed everywhere. So then can went from pointing here into the garbage can, and then I had to take the garbage can outside. So that was exciting. Probably not Godzilla. Let's take the excess water. Okay, next to the agenda. I don't really need these on anymore. Charcoal gray? Like I said, I gotta look. I might have a. I thought I remembered having a gray, but it's this kind. Right. But I gotta see. It's in the. I got tubs of like random paint, and it should be in there because I know I have red. I got the blue, and I think I have a black because I use black quite a bit for random stuff. Yeah, paperclip for teeth probably wouldn't be the best idea. Favorite Zilla baby? Like 98 baby in specific, or just like little Godzillas? Because, like, children Godzilla, like little Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla is probably my favorite. Because it is the cutest little thing ever. Yeah, I was gonna say Trendmaster ones. I have to think. Probably the red one, because the red one was the bitey one, right? I think I got the most use out of that one. Not remember the name of it off the top of my head though. Okay, so for this, I had a cape. There it is. For this, I kind of want to just put it over. Yeah, you'll even see on my hands. I'm like covered in primer still from when it exploded everywhere. I did see the new con. It looks awesome. It annoys me that it doesn't have the tungsten tooth. But I'm assuming when we get the glove con, that's going to come with the tungsten tooth. Yeah, I'd say I like the Baby Zillas. It's definitely the red one. So my initial thought is to just probably try to wrap this. So around the sash here, this will just go over top of that. It'd probably be the easiest way to glue it. My only concern with that is because of the material used for this, it might not look good. Guess I'll cut and find out. By cut, I mean maybe. God forbid I have anything like just... it was actually where it's supposed to be. That is crazy. Oh, like the Funko Five Nights at Freddy's? Honestly, they're probably the better ones to do customs, because if anybody else makes figures of them, they're probably going to be more expensive anyways. Granted, I don't know how much of the old Five Nights at Freddy's figures tend to go for. Ugh. The only thing that's kind of annoying is there's a wire right here. I think first and foremost, I gotta get this wire out of here just to make my life a little easier. Because this section I'm not going to be using it anyways. Oh, tie-dye. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, usually the cheaper option is always the best option in terms of customizing. That is for certain. All right, so I'm just going to try to cut this as humanly straight as possible. And then do the same thing. I'm just going to try to eyeball it. So I need it about that way. Ooh, that's going to make a problem. There's a forced connection right there. Okay, well, guess we'll have to do just the certain sections. Oh, that sort of worked out. All right, fabric glue. I will say just as a heads up, I am not a foremost expert in doing clothing for anything. I've done a little bit of modifying for clothes, but nothing ever really anything super serious. I probably should stitch this on, but I ain't about that life. So we're going to do it this way. Wait, is there a cap in here? Is that what I'm having a problem with? Get out of here, Poxy. Nope. So where am I clogged? Weird. Ooh, Italy be fun. There we go. Well, here's your problem. I haven't used this stuff in a hot minute. Usually, if I do anything clothing, it's generally more like full cosplay size. I'm a little more confident in doing. Toy stuff is definitely more of a pain in the butt. As I think my current thing is, I don't know how good this stuff dries. But I need some new scissors. Because the only other capes I've really done is like the spawn capes and such. Which those I've glued slash stitched on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do both these sides and let it sit overnight, and then I'll do the back part. Customs, I put the least amount of effort into. I like to think that I try hard with everybody's stuff. Usually the easiest things though is repaints. So for instance, like doing these little heads. Well, they kind of look like they'd be complicated. They're generally speaking, I could pump these out in like about an hour or two, looking good if I really like sit down and focus on them. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's Sasquatch. My mother-in-law got it for me when she went up to the UP. Yeah, what was my width? 84. So right about there. Like I said earlier, there's probably a scientific method to go about this, but I'm just going to eyeball it. Because for the most part, even if it's too wide, I can kind of fix it while it's on there. But we just cut to the... Because whatever access I'm going to have is going to be hidden under here anyways, so it doesn't really matter how off I am, because this section here, once it's glued in, you're never going to see it. So it doesn't really matter. Man, you've only been an Aliens fan for 2 years? Well, almost three. At least I have some others. Oh god, I was to say I got into Aliens probably when I was like 6 or 7, mainly because of the toys, and then my mom let me watch Aliens, and then I had to wait to watch the other Alien movies because she thought they were too scary. Aliens was fine though, and so what? That was 31 years ago. Still like Alien, love Alien movies to this day. Super excited for Romulus. That movie looks fantastic. I'm really butthurt that my job didn't give me the day off for it. I asked for it. I'm gonna have to go into work. I don't got sick time. So I'm sad because I want to go see an IMAX, and the closest IMAX to me is a good like 45 minutes away. I think is what we timed before. So I'll probably have to go watch it in town. That is true. I was assuming you're pretty young. Sure, you can. Like it's, I don't know. It might be just. I don't want to say it's like back in my day, but just like from my time, it wasn't as bad of a thing to watch. At least Alien. Like I did. My mom was more okay with like watching gory things as long as it didn't have like nudity, like excessive amounts of nudity or sex scenes in it. Generally speaking, she didn't really have a problem with me watching it. So I was watching like Alien, Predator, you name it. Okay, go give this some time to draw. No, I'm already messing that up. Why did I touch it again? I forgot fabric glue you don't want to touch ever again after you adhere it. Okay, I just gotta leave it alone for a bit. So I got the two lift parts. Once this dries, I can kind of blend those two in with this part here. So it's gonna be like a couple of day process to work on that thing, sadly. I don't know, that was weird. My first one was my first. I seen the first one, the third one, and then the first. Oh, sorry, second, third, first. Went to see Resurrection in theaters. Yeah, I think after that, it's like I've seen every Alien theater after that. Oh, what do I want to do? We got a little bit of time. I don't really got enough time to merit mixing up some paint to work on this guy. Because off camera, I primered them. It primered the epoxy part, so now it's just dry brushing and blending to get everything to match back to the way it was for the original X Plus. Is where I'm at. But I gotta mix up a bunch of paint, and then if I'm dry brushing this thing, it's probably gonna take me a good 30-40 minutes. Plus, I'm trying to give these things some time to dry, so I know this isn't gonna rub off. Although we got a little bit of the primer on it, so I might have to go back over it again anyways, because fudge my life. So I guess I'll probably work on that other, maybe work on you. Do I got enough paint? Oh no, my other paints are upstairs. I could do the teeth, but my red paint is currently hanging out there. So more than likely, I'll probably stream tomorrow because I'll probably be working on a bunch of little guys, painting them up. Probably finishing that, primering the Alien. I've been really meaning to 3D scan some stuff, but I've just been so behind on trying to get some other things randomly caught up. Yeah, this is the first one that he sent in. Is the 71. And then that one, I'm just making it look like the 72 just to make it better. So probably call it good here unless you guys got anything else in particular. Will we break our promise of Alien 3? Does the third one have nudity? I'm trying to remember. I know the fourth one does, for sure. I remember we were going to see that in theaters. My mom was like, oh, poo. I also remember being a kid because I also liked karate movies. And my mom took me, God, I must have been like 9 or 10 maybe, and went and seen Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan movie. And there's the strip club scene in that movie. I remember being a kid just like, yeah. Godzilla's been like 4 or 5 for me. I think 4. Like 5, I remember my 5th birthday getting Godzilla stuff, but I think I was watching it beforehand. It was my 5th birthday. I got the Imperial Godzilla, which I actually. That's a sex scene. When did I have a sex scene? Is that in the director's cut? That might be the director's cut. And I'll be honest, like, I don't remember, like, anything prior to, like, 4 years old. Like, I kind of remember riding on the back of, like, my mom's bike one time, but I think that's really about it. Because I also got this guy I've been meaning to work on, which I might sell it when I make it. But I got an extra Imperial Godzilla because he's kind of damaged. A dog got a hold of this one. And I've been kind of wanting to make a zombie Godzilla, and this is the one I was going to do it with. So I was going to like chop off part of the face and like open up parts of it and make little exposed skeleton bits. I think would be really cool. Yeah, I remember her and the doctor had a thing. I just don't remember like a full-blown sex scene. Yeah, even then, because it's like after 5, because like when I was younger, like my brother was a handicap, so we didn't really get to go out anywhere too often. So my mom would just always bring home movies. So like every week it would be whatever was the new releases. She would generally grab a few of them, bring them home, watch them. And everybody used to joke about our house because we had a better selection than Blockbuster did. So, like, growing up, that's all, like, we didn't really watch cable. We just watched movies. Like, generally, if I was watching, like, cable television or something, it was because, it's the only thing I could watch in my bedroom when I was younger. And, of course, there were some shows I would watch, but like Turtles, Batman, you name it. But for the most part, I think like in our spare time, we were almost always watching movies. Just kind of going over a couple parts because I know I missed when I was primering it up. There were some sections here and there. You can still see like a little bit of the white kind of coming through. So when I was growing up, it would have been like late 80s, like pretty much anything 80s and 90s. I watch a lot of older movies too, just because. Because even growing up, like we love like our household, like we watched like Three Stooges and stuff, so we'd watch like those old movies. We used to go to the movies a lot too. I still tend to go to the movies quite well, not as much anymore. Especially with Casey. But before we would go to the movies like constantly. Yeah, if you want to show me your customs, I'm always down to checking out people's stuff. It's always interesting to see what people created. I think that's good. Oh, actually, I know what I missed. It's one of those, like, you don't notice you're missing something on one of these, so you, like, sit it at a certain angle, and you're like, ah, I see some white. But I think that's pretty good. Gotcha. Okay, I think we're gonna call it good here because be honest, I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. I'm sleepy. I'll probably have another unimportant review up for tomorrow. I might do another stream. Oh yeah, let's say Art wanted to see the head. Are you still here, Art? I don't even know if you're still here. But the ball joint socket, like it's just a straight slot, so it just goes right over top. It's pretty loosey-goosey though. Actually, it doesn't even want to really go in. At least I could upscale it, thank God. It's the only saving grace. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with channel donate. Greatly would appreciate it. If you guys like to pick up some stateside collectibles for yourself, like a subscription for Entertainment Earth, you can also support the channel, get your collectibles that way. You get free shipping. You spend over $80. Like I said, I tend to, if I'm doing big stateside orders, they're usually my go-to because I save a little bit of money. If you'd like to pick up, say, the new Haya King Kong that just got announced, link description for Entertainment, or not Entertainment, Calcus Toys, which you can save 6% off your order, which after the discount makes it about the same price as stateside places, and you get them like months in advance. So like when it releases straight from Haya, they have it like the next day. And they do free shipping, so they're cheaper than buying it straight from Haya too. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. See you guys in the next one.